Yeah, hi peeps, it's Tersse back in the squat box once again, and I've been watching for the last week or so this farce that is the so-called Republicans suddenly understanding the need for immigration reform in America, and then you see them questioning people and making out like if there's no restrictions then the whole world, 8 billion people or 6 billion people, are all going to want to come to America. Ludicrous, I think the only way that these people could understand the problems with the immigration system in America is if they did what I used to do when I worked in small companies. I used to go into small companies when they were having problems. I would redesign their paperwork, because normally it would be, a company that gets in money, say, by cheque, postal order, or over the internet, and then they would have to produce that order and then mail it out. So it's mail order stuff, And a lot of these small new companies, they failed to understand the imperative to capture certain pieces of information along the route of the money coming in, the product being either made or taken from stock and mailed out over a period of a defined period of time, so that it would reach the customer within 28 days, or in some cases 14 days. I've worked in companies that would promise to have that order delivered at your door 14 days after your cheque arrived in the company. In order to do that, certain pieces of information needed to be captured on paper so it could be tracked within the company itself to make sure that you could fulfil that promise. If they're going to have a promise that people in America can find themselves on a track to becoming a citizen within a specified time period, because that's really what would make it a solid route to citizenship, is if there's a time period in there which isn't 28 years. They would have to do what I used to do. I would design the paperwork and then I would do a dry run as if money had come in for an order, and then we would go through the process, counting out, we'd do it in a couple of hours, but we'd count out this would take that amount of time. Let's imagine that that's taken 3 days for this to be manufactured. So now we're on day 5, the money came in, it got cashed, to make sure the money was there. Now we've produced the product, so we're 5 days into the 14 days. Now we've got to get that packaged, get it certified, check that the money is in the account, check that the product is going to the right address, check that the product is packaged properly and it is exactly what the person's ordered, then have it mailed out, in order for it to take 3 to 4 days to arrive there and get it there within the 14 days. Or if it's a larger order, it might take 28, you might have stuff in stock, you might have stuff needing to be restocked, so you might have to spend 7 days getting something made by another manufacturer that you then bring into your company, so that's why some people say 28 days, because you might have to outsource to get stuff in, and then they have to produce and get it to you, so it's all that as well. So if they want to understand how to do an immigration reform, they have to do what I used to do. You design the paperwork, the system, which is going to get that result that you desire, and then you do a dry run, you do a paper run on it as if a real order is going through the company. A mock-up, they have to do that. Some of these senators should sit down and say, what is it I would have to do if I was a brand new immigrant to the country? What is the paperwork I would have to fill in? How long would it take me to get that paperwork seen? How long is it going to take for me to get the next stage to come up? What pitfalls am I going to find? They would have to do a dry run as if they were a new immigrant applying for immigration to America, and then see how that pans out. See how long it takes for them, if they were a brand new immigrant, to become a citizen. And only when they can do that can they turn around and say that the regime that they set up, that the pathway to citizenship they set up works. They have to do a dry run as if they were an immigrant and test that it would actually work, and they could then become a citizen themselves. Once they've done that dry run, that paper run, They could then turn around to the American people and say, this is it, we've found a way for a pathway to citizenship for these immigrants. Otherwise, anything that they're going to come out with is just a whole load of bullshit. It's just a whole load of up in the air, maybes, what ifs, and promises that they probably never want to keep anyway. So, as you've